Okay, so first step here is we're going to do the tinning process. Get the torch fired up.
You'll be able to see where some of the lead originally was. So it's going to start to melt here. You see it melting off right there?
There you go.
See how bright and shiny that is right there underneath the original? So we have to make the rest of this look just like this. We're going to do that right there, back and forth a little bit. And if it doesn't clean up very well, like I'm not sure that's going to clean up all that well, we can go back in and we can sand that down a little bit, or rotary file it, one of the two.
Yeah, so we can
get it to really clean up. And I'm just going to take the tinning butter here and start spreading it around, because this whole area through here, I've got to get it completely tinned up.
Basically prime it up in a sense.
Yeah, so we're going to see how well all this is going to go, and any of the spots that are still black like that over there, we'll come back in and we'll clean that up, get it down to really clean metal. And then also the other thing we want to do, you can see this part of the car is not that bad, where this part is pretty bad. So we want all this, but we want to extend the tinning so that we're feathering the lead maybe all the way over to there. We'll just have to see how far out it goes. And one other thing we didn't talk about a little bit, Mike, was, and I did look, Mike's got all the headliner and everything already stripped out of the car, because we don't want to take a chance on potentially catching something on fire inside there.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, it would not be
good. We didn't think about that. Yeah, we got everything out of the inside, so we're good. You don't have to worry about any radiant heat going inside and starting the car on fire.
Yeah, so up in here, he's got some wood up in there, so yeah, we definitely would not want to. You can see how well that's going to clean up right through there. And that's what we want, and including that edge right there.
Yeah, you want the rain gutter edge, you want that to be nice and clean too.
Yeah, and the reason we're going to probably put a very, very thin amount of lead on the side there. Lead's not going to, like Bondo, on that edge right there. It'd be easy, you bump it, you could chip that Bondo off fairly easy. You put lead on correctly, it's like, as Mike said earlier, you're putting steel back in the car.
You put metal on it, so it's not going to...
You see that area right there, how well that cleaned up.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not too worried about little holes like that one right there, because when I put the lead on there, I'm putting metal back in there.
Fill it in.
Exactly. Unlike plastic, if I put plastic on there and I got little holes coming back up through there, I run the risk of having some moisture come back up, get between the plastic and the steel, and then it's going to lift off there.
So we got big problems then.
Yeah.
Especially after you spent the money on the paint and everything. That's another good thing.
Yeah, that would be the last thing you want to happen.
Nope. Not a pretty thing. So this tinning butter has acid in it, and we're going to be using some baking soda, standard, just Arm & Hammer style baking soda and some water, and that's what we've got down here in this bucket. And we're going to go ahead and
all we're going to do then is we want to make sure that we don't have any of the acids that are in the materials here that's turning this into a nice shiny surface. We want to make sure that's off there. And you absolutely want it off there before you go to paint.
Yeah, paint and acid don't like each other much.
So we're going to take and wipe this rag. It's got water and baking soda in it, so I'm good with that. It looks like everything's going to clean up really well.
Yeah, it's looking really good.
Yeah. We still got a little bit up here.
Yeah,
we'll take care of that.
On that.
Yeah. we're going to wind up doing this whole section all the way over to here with it, and then we got to do all of this
We
down
got some
to
in the
here.
back, yeah, where we did some welding in the back earlier episode.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let me get the rotary out, and we'll go to the next segment.
All right. Yeah, and then we can make this star into a little bit of a lead sled.
Mm-hmm. So just real quick, I found this horizontal grinder is what I'll call it on online, and that's the burr, the rotary file we're going to use to go ahead and clean this stuff up. I like this one specifically because it's adjustable speed wise. It starts slow and then comes up to speed. Some people don't like it, but for me, it's working great. I bought this so I could work on the grill as well. So we'll show you this thing in a few minutes. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned up that area with the rotary grinder, rotary file, and now we're going to see if it works. Looks like it's going to be pretty happy now. Yeah. There you go. Wow, man. That likes that.
Yes, it does.
Well, looks like we got that.
Yeah,
We're gonna continue the tinning process here, and we're gonna go to the lead thing.
One other thing I didn't mention was you also got to be really careful on wide areas. Like if you were doing something up here, so you'd want to control the heat a lot. And having this wet rag with the baking soda in there helps me control it, so I don't get warpage out of the metal while I'm tinning it.
Yes, you don't want to warp it and then have to add more lead. That's no fun.
And you can. They make a fence material so that you would lay the fence material down like that right there.
It's a heat fence.
It's a heat fence.
Yeah, we saw that in the welding supply industry. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I could do this part right here. I don't have to worry about catching that on fire because it's wet. But I can do that area right there.
Yeah, and it doesn't affect the rest of the panel.
Correct.
All right, that's cool. Another cool tip from Craig. All right, we'll let him continue tinning. Okay, we've got everything prepped, tinned, meaning it's all ready and clean and ready to go. And we're going to start adding some lead now. So Craig's going to show you how to add the lead, and then we'll come back in a minute here and show you how to use the files. I'm going to stand back so Craig can do what he does. All right.
As you said earlier, Mike, it's all about controlling the heat, right?
And we're going to control the liquid metal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we want to start getting the metal hot again. And I'm going to check and see if the metals are actually ready to
accept the lead. Yeah, to accept it.
So you'll see here in a minute, see, just like it did right there. I don't know if you can see it from that angle, Mike.
Yeah, you can.
But I'm doing that right there, and you can see the lead's already starting to melt too.
There we go.
So the material's nice and hot, and I'm gonna I gotta get the lead bar
warmed up a little.
Starting to go there. You can see, just like I said earlier, kind of like welding, gas welding, acetylene welding, or even
this is like a cross between TIG welding and soldering in a sense.
Exactly.
But it's cool because look at that big globular bunch of metal right there that you're actually able to control with the torch, and you can see the technique that Craig uses by moving the torch in and out. Very similar to oxy-fuel brazing and or oxy-fuel welding. So, but you can see how much material you can put down, and it sticks, and it's very difficult to take off. So now he's just going to use the paddles to kind of flatten it out and rough shape it, and then it'll come back with the Vixen files later, and we'll final shape it.
Again, I got to get it just so it's starting to move, just like right there.
Yeah.
And like Les taught me, he said, you burn your paddle, you're too close. Don't burn up my paddles.
Yeah. Well, obviously you didn't burn them up because you got them from him.
Yep. And I've had them for 20 years.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm just going to keep putting lead in there. By the way, these are 1/4 pound sticks. So you can keep track, Mike, of how much lead I'm putting on your car by
Yeah,
how
by the
many
number of
sticks
sticks.
that I use.
That's right.
And I really don't want to have a whole lot of lead on the ground after running the Dixon file, so the more I can flatten it out.
The more you pre-shape it with a paddle, the less you're gonna file.
You got it. And less going to wind up on the floor, and I gotta spend the time to make it back
Into bars.
sticks.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't burn my fingers here.
Using the channel lock. That's a cool one. Your tricks of the trade right here.
So sometimes on the side, if you're trying to control how much heat you're putting into it, what you can do too is get that kind of nice and warm. If this is on the side, get that nice and warm and just dab it on.
Just dab it, okay. Yeah. Very interesting techniques here.
Just a couple ways of doing it. Got a little bit bigger paddle.
Yep. Spread a little wider area.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Get that where it's starting to move. You can see how well it flattened out.
Yeah, beautiful.
The guy that's truly a master at this taught me some of it, and that's Gene Winfield.
Yeah, Gene.
That guy can put lead on.
He's a lead master, huh?
He is a lead master. I never saw Bill Hines. I met Bill Hines at one of Gene's events one time.
Yeah.
And I never actually got the chance to watch him work.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see. But watching Gene and working with Gene as long as you did, it was
yeah,
pretty cool deal. He obviously taught you a lot too. All right, Craig's going to continue putting lead on like we're talking about, and we'll show you the next part. All right. This is the end of day one of the lead work, and you can see we've got the rear corner here filled in very nicely now. We finally got the profile where it needs to be. Obviously have to be Vixen filed and final finished, etc. But here's what we ended up with here. And then moving towards the front, got a lot of this filed down. This turned out beautiful. And the profile now is exactly where it needs to be, as you can tell right here. So we will continue to add lead and file everything down as necessary. This last corner over here, this corner is fine. Profile looks good there. And the last bit of lead we're going to add is going to be right here where the factory had added lead originally. So we want to get this profile here taken care of. As you can see, it's not right. So we're going to add some lead and then final finish everything in plastic with a thinnest coat of plastic as we can get. So yes, we could finish it in lead, but I think I'm going to stick with the skim layer of plastic after we get the main part of it done with lead. We'll see you next time.